Joseph, the favored son of Jacob, was no stranger to dreams. From a young age, he had been blessed with the gift of dream interpretation, a talent that would shape the course of his life in ways he could scarcely imagine. His journey began in the pastoral tranquility of Canaan, where the fields were lush and the skies were vast. Joseph, with his striking coat of many colors, stood out among his brothers. His dreams, however, set him apart even more. They were vivid and strange, filled with imagery that spoke of power and destiny. One particular dream he shared with his brothers depicted sheaves of wheat bowing down to his own sheaf. This dream ignited jealousy and resentment in the hearts of his siblings, leading them to conspire against him. The rift between Joseph and his brothers deepened, culminating in his betrayal and sale into slavery in Egypt. Stripped of his coat and cast into a foreign land, Joseph's journey took a sharp turn. Yet, even as he faced the trials of servitude, his ability to interpret dreams remained his beacon of hope. In Egypt, Joseph found himself in the household of Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Despite being a slave, he proved himself resourceful and trustworthy, quickly rising to a position of responsibility. However, his fortunes took another turn when he was wrongfully accused and imprisoned. In the depths of the dungeon, Joseph's spirit could have easily faltered, but his gift of dream interpretation remained a source of solace. It was here that he met two fellow prisoners, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, both of whom had troubling dreams. The cupbearer dreamt of a vine with 3 branches that blossomed and bore grapes, which he pressed into Pharaoh's cup. Joseph interpreted this dream as a sign of restoration. The cupbearer would be reinstated to his position in 3 days. The baker, seeking a similar fortune, shared his dream of 3 baskets of bread on his head, which were devoured by birds. Joseph's interpretation, however, was grim. The baker would be executed in 3 days. Both interpretations came to pass, and as the cupbearer returned to Pharaoh's court, Joseph hoped for a chance to be remembered and freed from his unjust imprisonment. Yet 2 years passed, and Joseph remained in the shadows of the prison walls, forgotten. It was not until Pharaoh himself was troubled by a series of perplexing dreams that Joseph's name resurfaced. Pharaoh dreamt of 7 fat cows grazing by the Nile, followed by 7 lean cows that devoured them, and 7 ears of grain, plump and good, swallowed by 7 thin ears. Disturbed by these visions, Pharaoh summoned all the magicians and wise men of Egypt, but none could provide an interpretation. It was then that the cupbearer recalled Joseph's gift and spoke of him to Pharaoh. Brought before the mighty ruler, Joseph stood in stark contrast to the opulence of the palace. He was a man forged in adversity, yet his confidence in his abilities shone through. When Pharaoh recounted his dreams, Joseph listened intently, his mind racing with the significance of each detail. He recognized the duality of the dreams. The 7 fat cows and the 7 lean cows represented 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. The ears of grain echoed the same theme. Prosperity would precede devastation. With clarity and conviction, Joseph relayed his interpretation to Pharaoh, advising him to appoint a wise and discerning man to oversee the collection of grain during the years of plenty, ensuring that Egypt would survive the impending famine. Pharaoh was struck not only by the accuracy of the interpretation, but also by Joseph's wisdom and foresight. In a moment that would alter the course of history, Pharaoh appointed Joseph as second in command over all of Egypt, giving him the authority to implement the necessary preparations. Joseph's rise from the depths of despair to the heights of power was nothing short of miraculous. He became a master of strategy, overseeing the collection and storage of grain, ensuring that the nation was well prepared for the years of famine foretold in Pharaoh's dreams. As the famine spread across the land, people from all regions came to Egypt seeking sustenance, and Joseph, now a man of great authority, managed the distribution of food with fairness and integrity. Yet, amidst this newfound power, Joseph's heart was still tethered to his past. He often reflected on his family, the brothers who had betrayed him, and the father who mourned his loss. Fate would eventually bring his brothers to Egypt in search of food, a reunion fraught with tension and unspoken emotions. Joseph recognized them immediately, but they did not recognize him. He was now a powerful figure, draped in the fineries of an Egyptian ruler, a stark contrast to the boy they had cast away. In a series of encounters, Joseph tested their character, seeking to understand whether they had changed. He orchestrated a situation that would force them to confront their past actions, placing them in a position where they would have to protect their youngest brother, Benjamin. The emotional turmoil of their past clashed with the realities of their present, and Joseph watched as they struggled with guilt and remorse. Finally, the moment came when Joseph could no longer contain his emotions. He revealed his identity to his brothers, and the floodgates opened. Tears flowed freely as he embraced them, forgiving them for their past transgressions. The journey that had begun with betrayal and hardship culminated in reconciliation and healing. Joseph's ability to interpret dreams had not only saved a nation, but had also mended the fractured bonds of his family. Through his journey, Joseph exemplified resilience, wisdom, and the transformative power of forgiveness. His story is a testament to the belief that even in the darkest of times, dreams can guide us toward our destiny. And through trials, we can emerge stronger, more compassionate, and ultimately united in the face of adversity.